Today we're going to be planting up the window box, and I have some gorgeous plants that we're going to use for this window box. This is going to be a look that's going to be easy to recreate. You should be able to find the plants that we're using here, use them in your window box, and save a little bit of money while you do your fall planters as well. Now we are going to be using some beautiful plants. First up on the list, we have this beautiful Gerber Daisy here. Here's a close-up look of what our Gerber Daisy looks like. It has the two color variations of yellow here. So we have that bright canary yellow that I love to use in the fall and also in the spring. Then on the inside here, you can see where it transitions to more of a brownish, kind of like an orangish yellow, if you will. Next we have our pansy that we're going to be using. Now our pansy holds a lot of interest. Depending on which one you're looking at, you're going to get a different feel and a different vibe. So here's one. Here is another one out of the same batch. So this batch right here is called the Matrix Sunrise Pansy. Is calling for full sun. So it's going to recommend that you get 6 hours of more of sun here. So I use them in part sun. I mean, because it's the fall time, so your light requirements really do not matter, if that makes sense, to a certain extent. Here we have a beautiful orange mum. And what I like about it is, can you see the variations in colors? How it's not necessarily a true orange, it's not necessarily a true yellow. It has those deep undertones. It's pulling out more of that brown, it's pulling out more of that orange and yellow, if that makes sense. So it's a great kaleidoscope of color here. We also have a pink mum that we're going to be using as well. One thing I forgot to add with my mums here, when I use my mums, I like to give them a bath, if you will. So before I plant them up, I typically will go in and overhydrate my mums. And so when you pick your mums up, when you're using them and you lift them out of the water, it should be heavy. Definitely it should be heavy. And that way it helps extend your season with your mums here. While the mums are soaking, we're going to go ahead, clean up the window box. We are also going to make sure we get all the cobwebs down, wipe our window box down really, really good. Look up at the top, you can see that there are some spider webs. We're going to get those spider webs down as well. And just make sure our window box looks very neat and tidy. And I like to keep up with the cleaning of the window box. It doesn't get to a point where your window box is so dirty that it's kind of tinged. I mean, it will eventually pick up kind of like a patina, if you will, from just being out in the elements. It might get sun bleached. It might get, you know, if you have a black box, your black box, you might start seeing that the black is not as vibrant as it once was. But by this being a white box, I want to make sure I don't kind of get, for example, this appearance right here, that doesn't become the overall look of the box, because I want to keep this box around for quite some time. And so what we'll do, we'll just go ahead and get started. oftentimes I share with you all ways that I save money when I'm doing containers, and today's going to be no different. We're going to get a beautiful look, but we're going to have to work a little bit for it. We're going to take this container here that's marketed to be either set on a side table, the middle of the table, just like this, without even changing out the pot. We're not going to do that. Or you can get the same look if you have like hanging baskets. You can find the plant that you need in a hanging basket, a container like this. And all we're going to do, we're going to go in, we're going to break this down. We're going to see how many of these Gerber daisies that we can get. So it's very easy. We're just going to pop this out. And it should come out very easy in one piece. We're going to look for the opening here. We find the opening just like this, and then we'll start to cut. Okay, so this came in half, and so let's start breaking these up. Okay, again, we're going to find another opening here, another opening point, and we're just going to cut. And so we're going to start to set these to the side. So here is this one plant right here. All right. Okay, so this looks like a yellow here. Okay, one plant right here. I'm just getting the seeds that kind of fell apart when I was trying to break up these Gerber daisies or Gerber daisies. Now, I ended up with a total of 4 clumps. Now, one of the clumps, I can see that the plant is actually yellow, but I'm not going to go with that one because I only need 2 clumps for this arrangement. And I know you're saying, girl, 2 clumps. What is 2 clumps going to do? I'm about to show you exactly what it's going to do. So what we're going to do, let's go ahead and just plant this beautiful window box up. Got to go get my fertilizer real quick. The window box is done. I absolutely love it. It's just giving me so much. Like when I look at this window box with that bright yellow just popping out, it just makes me get so excited. Drop down in the comment box. Let me know, what are your thoughts on this window box here? I would love to know, what do you think about the colors, the feel, the rhythm of the window box, the movement of the plants here, the way I came in, I used the plants. And then I also want to know, do you have a window box, or is a window box something that's on your wish list? By using a window box, it's an easy way to come in and just elevate a space. It's an easy way to go in and add your transitional color throughout the different seasons. I love my window box, and I use it for that effort because my patio is the space where we're normally at. But I will say this, if you are having trouble pulling your containers, let me tell you what I do. I stop watering. And sometimes my plants will take the hit for it. Think about it like this. With my window boxes and my containers in general, when it starts to get close to the next season, I stop watering them. If they make it, fine. If they don't make it, then it gives me a reason to go in and pull the plants out and go get new plants. But if you think about it from this aspect, if everything is looking good, then you're not going to necessarily, or at least I'm not going to want to go in, pull the plants that look absolutely amazing out and transfer over. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. It just all depends. But for me, when I stop watering them, it makes it easier for me to go in and transition them out. We are going to head to the Dollar Tree because I'm going to show you all another garden tree hack. It's going to be a couple of steps that we're going to have to do in order to get the look for this next collection that I'm working on. So let's head to the Dollar Tree and see what we come up with. And then we'll finish working on this later. And this aisle right here, this is all school supplies. So we know it's definitely not down here. So we'll go to the next aisle here. We'll walk down. This is all the party supplies. We need to find the aisle where they have like their dishes and things of that nature. So we'll come down this way. And then we'll go that way. It's no other way but to go that way. So let's go down. Excuse me. So here's our dishes and so forth. So let's look. I'm not seeing anything down here. I see some plates, but I don't see any of what we're looking for, our pans here. Let's keep looking. If we can't find what we're looking for here, then we'll just go to another store. We got our baby stuff in this aisle, so this is not going to be the aisle that we're looking for here. Let's try this aisle. They got some baskets and different things on this side. And if you look up, it looks like they have some type of, the roof is leaking maybe. I'm not seeing anything. Let's just go aisle for aisle at this point. Here's some rocks and crafts, but I'm definitely not seeing any type of cookware. Let's see if we can find the aisle where they have their cookware located, because if we can find that, then more than likely we can find our pans that we are looking for. All right, we'll go down this aisle. So we're getting to more like the homeware items. Nothing down this way. Cleaning supplies. We have our books. I don't see anything here.
Something in particular?
I am looking for, do you guys have any pizza pans?
Or up front by the cash registers at the
Okay.
very bottom.
Okay, thank you. All right, so she told us to go up front by the cash register, so we'll go and look there. So we are in business. All right, we'll go this way. Okay. Now, okay, so here's the cash register right there. I'm not seeing them. Oh, there we go, right here. Okay, so kitchen tools right here in front of our face. So what we'll do I like to buy these in pairs. Oh, child, this is heavy. So we'll take this stack. We'll take this stack out right here. And then we'll scoot that back. Pull this out a little bit. And then we'll just get 2 of these. And they are $1.25. You know, it's no longer the dollar store anymore. It is a Dollar Tree, but things don't cost $1. So we'll take our pans. So we have our pizza pans here, and we're going to paint these up. We're not going to leave these silver here because we want these to elevate the arrangement. What we're going to do, we're going to take the first one, and I have some paint here. So this is a Cryline Shortcuts Hobby Craft paint, and I think this is white because this is the color that I'm needing is white. So let's give it a test spray. Yep. Okay. So let's take this off. And of course I picked the one where it's going to stick. Alright, now I could take some alcohol and get that off, but we're not going to worry about it. Now, have the front of this one done. I have a second one. Now, anytime I do one way, I do a second one just in case I use them as a pair. We'll scoot this to the side. We'll just use some paper. Okay. So we'll just lay these down. And really, I should be going slower like that. We'll let these dry while we get the containers out really quick. So let's go grab the containers that we're going to be using these for. I'm going to set the paint down. I am going to take my gloves off. I'm going to use the same pair of gloves, and that way I'll use the same pair to complete the entire project. So we're going to let that dry while we go ahead and pick out our containers that we're going to use for this arrangement. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous if I can get my hand out of this glove. Okay. All right, there we go. I guess I could have got another pair of gloves, but baby, I'm using the same pair. So let's go grab the containers real quick. In this cabinet here, it houses all of my white containers here. We're going to use these two containers. I love them because they're very ornate. In addition to using these, we're also going to be using these containers right here in this collection. So these are Wakefield handmade. I'm not sure of the name of these containers right here. I've had these for years. I can't even remember where I got these from, because at first I was just buying containers. You know, it's something that I did for years, and not many of my friends and family were really interested in it. So I would just buy a container and really didn't think to document what was the name of the container, where I bought it from, and things of that nature. But we are going to use these. I mean, just look at this. Look at the detailing on here. It's so ornate. It just gives me all of the vibes that I feel like I need and want with my different container collection pieces. So we're going to use these two right here. Back to the Wakefield handmade. So we're going to use these, but we're not just going to use one. We're going to use the entire collection. So I have a total of 6 of these. So this one looks like this. All of them are different in some way, shape, or fashion in the collection, and some of them are exactly the same. So I have this one. Then I have this one right here. I love the shape of these. And then we're going to use this one. This is how this one looks. But if you look, these two right here are exactly the same. So they're amazing and they're cute. So we'll set these off to the side. And then we have this one right here, which is exactly the same as this one. So let me move these two out of the way here. So we'll move these to the side so you can see the pair. And what we'll do, I'm just going to just line these this way, and then you'll be able to see what they look like. And then we have this pair here that's the same, as well as this one right here. And then this one right here is exactly the same. These are absolutely gorgeous. Look at these. And I do believe I have a link for these where you can go onto my Amazon page and get this collection. So these are the containers that we're using. They're absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to do something with these, and it's going to be beautiful. So let's get them in their place. So let's grab these two. Gorgeous. We'll snag these two out. So cute. Last but not least, these two. And we'll come back for these. And we'll grab these. Ooh, they're heavy like this. Ooh, I don't want to drop them. You know what? I'm not going to take a chance because they're heavy. So I'll get them one at a time. And now this one. Now we have our containers in here. What we're going to do, we're going to head outside. We're going to grab those trays, and we kind of want them not necessarily all the way dry because we're going to do a aging. We're going to age it. We're going to give it an aged terracotta look. So when you look at it, you're not going to be able to know like what it is unless you, one, seen this video, or two, I took the time to explain to you. When we get done, it's going to basically look like just the aged tray. You're not going to know what it is. But because you know we have these terracotta pots right here, your mind is going to instantly go to aged terracotta. So let's go out. Let's get those saucers really quick. Okay, so this is where we are now. It's not dry, but it's tacky. Now, actually, we are going to do the back of this. Are we going to do the back? We can do the back of the letter. Nope. Let's go ahead. Let's spray the back of it right now. Let's go ahead and turn this over real quick. It shouldn't take us long. So we got to go and get our gloves because we're going to spray these real quick. All right. Let's get our gloves on. Mainly, we're just going to get the parameter here. So that way, if it's sitting up on the surface and they can see up underneath that lip, we're covered. All right, so these are dry for the most part. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and move on to our next step with these. Here's the first one. Now see, we have an ant crawling on this one. And here is the second one. I went and grabbed the paper real quick. And what we're going to do, we shouldn't need it, but we're just going to put it down just in case we actually do need it. And okay, so this should be good for us. And then our gloves, of course. Because, baby, we're going to use these same gloves the entire time that we are doing this. Okay, so a little bit of white, just some folk paint here. We're going to come in with a chip brush. And we're going to just start brushing this on. While my trays are in there drying, what we're going to do, I never watered in my window box. I completely tripped trying to hurry up, get to the Dollar Tree, because I knew that it was going to take a lot of steps in order to accomplish the look. So by the time we finish watering this window box in, then we definitely should be at the point to where we can get to the next step and then complete our look in there. And I think you all are going to love it. I am going to use a watering can with this type of window box because I'm going to be using pinpoint watering to make sure I'm just hitting the roots. And I think everything will be happy. And then while I'm at it, I might as well go ahead and trim my boxwoods up because I definitely didn't do that and they definitely need it. Because we have some new growth here, so we might as well go ahead and just trim them while we're doing this. It looks a lot better here. We got the pansies. We have our cabbages here. I tucked those in. Then we have our pansies again, and it kind of repeats in a rhythmic motion down at the bottom. But I wanted the weight of the Gerber Daisy to be right here in the center. I did not want to stretch it all the way across. Then from there, I have your orange that's repeating back here, which is giving a kiss to our pansies. That deep yellow there, and it's prominent because it's up against that purple color there. See how that pulls everything back in? Then in the veining of our cabbage, we have the same color here that's in our pansy. So the color here is the veining of our cabbage. And then the deeper color here echoes in the pansy. We pulled in that pink color. Breaks up a lot of the yellow here, because can you imagine if this was all yellow? It would be so strong and it would just be like jumping out at you. We don't want that. We want everything to blend nicely and neat. Very beautiful. I love it. Finally have the boxwoods trimmed up at the top, so it kind of completes the look and it gives it more of a manicured look here. The bottom of this is dry, but we're going to set this to the side because we're going to use this space right here to work. Now, what we're going to do, pick these up. For these containers here, the bottom of this does not have a drain hole in it. And we could put one in there, but I'm not interested in doing that. So what I do when I use these containers is I just put a piece of plastic on, whoop, drop the scissors there. I just take a piece of plastic and I put a piece of plastic in the bottom of it. Now, when you do your arrangements like this, you are going to want to use pinpoint watering only. And so the reason why I say pinpoint watering is because you're going to want to keep your roots hydrated. But if you put just a lot of water in there, then what's going to happen is the water's just going to sit there. Your roots may not be able to soak it up as quickly as you wanted to soak it up. So therefore, it puts you in jeopardy of your arrangement not lasting as long. So we're going to put this in the base here. I have this here. We are going to prepare some vases really quick. This is what our tray looks like, and I wanted the paint stripes to show. I wanted the lines in the paint because it adds texture, it adds depth. I just love the imperfect line of green here where it fades in some areas, it gets deeper than others. And then in some areas, it almost disappears, if you will. And then wherever I had a bubble of paint at, I left that. And then as far as the glue that we were unable to get off, I left that too because it's only going to add character. This is what we're looking like. We're going to just set these on here. Totally love it. I am totally obsessed with this. And so just 5 of these small containers fits on this tray effortlessly. Nothing is crowded in. I love how when you look at the tray, you can see and pick up on the green detailing that we have, which mirrors the detailing on the side of our container here. I love it. It's very gorgeous. And I like the fact that you can definitely pick up on the green in more areas than the other. And I think it blends in very nicely. Around each one of the smaller arrangements, I did come in and I top dressed the soil with just some regular moss. And I turned it so that way you get that contrast, so it just wasn't a lot of green. Some of the containers you can see more green. Other containers you can see more of the brown side of the moss. I absolutely love this. So let's talk about watering here. When I water, I like to have different size watering cans because I know that's going to give me the capability to do some smaller pinpoint watering here. So it's very easy to come in just like this and water. And just like this. Very simple. Now, if I had a bigger can, I could still achieve the same thing with a larger can, but it's just less water. So I just like to keep, different watering cans on hand. And now, as far as care, only thing you're going to do, and this is something simple and easy that you can do if you live in an apartment and you're kind of missing the fall vibes, you can always do beautiful arrangements inside of your home in order to still have your hands in the dirt, if you will, still be able to keep flowers. Because I keep flowers in my house year round. I mean, all year round. In the wintertime, we come in, we do big, beautiful arrangements. Nothing changes because it's snow outside, honey, okay? So you're just going to come in and you're just going to clip off. Very easy. That's it. That's all. And in order to keep these blooming, you want to sit these kind of like in direct light or indirect light. I definitely wouldn't sit them like to where the windowsill is like beaming down on them, because remember, with some of our windows, if we set those items close up to it, it's going to emit heat onto them. We're going to try to get these arrangements in their place. Where we're going to put these at is occupied. So in the meantime and in between time, honey, let's talk. Matter of fact, let me go get a cup of coffee. Actually, I'm drinking tea today. Let me go grab my tea, honey, because this is good. I need y'all opinion, honey. I need to know what y'all think about it down in the comment section. While we wait to get the arrangement in the place where it's going to be going, I have interviews that's coming up. So I have 4 people that's coming for an interview to come and start helping out on Garden Queen. So we put an ad out there. They had to do background checks, and then they had to do NDAs. And then from there, then they have to come to the interview. So all of that stuff had to be done beforehand. And of course, backgrounds, references, but let's be real. So, the references is kind of like, ain't nobody really gonna tell you no shade unless it's an employer that fired you or, somebody that don't like you, then maybe they would give you a bad reference. Okay. But in the meantime, I have some questions that I'm going to be asking them, things that are important, but I want to make sure I'm not leaving anything out. Drop down in the comment section and what questions do you think is important to ask during this interview, because I want to make sure that the person is the right fit. I want to make sure that,
they're a right fit for me. I'm a right fit for them. The interview is going to take place over 2 days. So it's a 2-day interview. So when I say it is going to be like busy, so day one, we're going to come in, we're going to walk through the space. So they're going to walk around my whole entire garden, us together. And, that's how we're going to start off with day one and things of that nature. And we have some other things planned for the interview. And then on day two, when you come for the interview, it's going to be like the face-to-face where we sit down and I ask you questions and things of that nature and just kind of just pick your mind. So that is the part that I'm needing questions for. And I want to know what would you ask them if you were bringing in a gardener into your space or someone to assist you with your gardening? What would you ask them? So this is kind of new to me because I've always done everything myself. My boys have helped me throughout the year. So this is going to be new, like bringing a foreign person inside of our space and things of that nature. So I need to know. Drop down in the comment box. Okay, I could bring in our professional service that comes in, and maybe I don't have to worry about anybody cutting the grass because my son does that. He does an amazing job with cutting the grass. We'll plan how they're going to be working, and I'll explain that to them in the interview. And that was one of the pre-qualifiers. They were asked if they know who the garden queen was. Some of them knew who I was, and some of them did not. Do you think that's a good thing? Like, should I be bringing somebody on that kind of watches the channel already? I'm going to be looking at the comments that you all give, the suggestions that you all give down in the comment section, and I'll have that typed up. And then that's where that will come into play for day two of the interview. Also, keep in mind of this. I know some of you all might be saying, oh, you are bringing somebody out for 2 days in a row, because some of it is going to be a working interview as well. But here's the thing. During the time that they are here, they will be compensated. Because I thought about it like, just imagine if you go to an interview and they make you like shadow, if you will. But this is not just a shadow, it's a working. You see what I'm saying? Because I kind of feel like anybody can kind of tell you what they know how to do, get the job. But I want to make sure that when I do the hiring, that person stays on, they feel comfortable, and I'm super duper excited. So if you guys can help me with that, that would be totally amazing. Next, I want to know, what do you all think about the window box? Did the window box give? And we saved so much money on that window box. You guys have no clue the type of money that we saved on the window box. I know a lot of you all have said that you haven't necessarily started switching over your containers because your summertime containers are still thriving and looking beautiful, or it's too hot. So let me know down in the comment section, how do you, get yourself ready to pull your containers? Do you just wait and let everything transition over? I know some of you said that your season is so short. Like, one of the comments mentioned that they were in Alaska, and I was just so blown away by that. And I thought that was so enchanting. So what they do is they depend on shrubs and things of that nature in order to get them through the season, and they don't put out a fall display. And I was like, OMG. I remember I seen where Oprah was on a cruise to Alaska, and when she turned the camera around from that cruise ship, when I tell you it was so beautiful and breathtaking, and just anytime that I watch videos or movies about Alaska, it just always looks so beautiful. I will say I was so just excited about all of the comments that said where everybody was watching from. It was absolutely amazing. We had Scotland, we had Canada, we had Georgia, and actually the Southern Belles were definitely representing, because it was a lot of Georgia. The Georgia Peaches was down there representing. We had our Texas girls down there, South Carolina, Tennessee. And when I seen Tennessee, I was like, OMG. Dyersburg, Tennessee. 45 minutes from Dyersburg, Tennessee. When I tell you, when I was a little kid, I used to go there during the summertime when I was a kiddo, and those were some of my best memories. Some of where I learned a lot of like gardening from when I was down in Tennessee. Yeah, so I was so excited. But hold on, the girls from Ohio was also representing. I mean, it was so many people. We had Michigan up in there. Detroit was representing. It was just so amazing. The UK, we had Trinidad and Tobago. I was just so excited and just it just did something for me. And I'm telling you, I just love to know where you all are watching me from. Now that I done spilled the tea, my tea that I'm drinking hibiscus tea. I just had a taste for it today. So I went ahead and I've been kind of drinking my hibiscus tea today. No coffee for me. Just check. I have somebody here that's giving me an estimate and they still need some more time in order to give me a proper estimate. So we're not going to be able to get the arrangement in place, but we're going to do it together. So definitely make sure you are subscribed. And we're going to put the arrangement together, but I'm not going to make y'all wait till the end to see what the arrangement look like. Now, you know I wouldn't do that. You know your good girlfriend over here wouldn't do that to you. Drop down in the comment box and let me know what you think about this arrangement right here. And I'll see you guys in the next one.